So here we are in a big flight looking for females that have taken ownership of nests and birdie love. This is Fluffy and Sprite. They're an established pair. They gave me one baby last summer when it was way too hot to be making babies. And now we're going to go around and see if we can get a few more than just one. I also trimmed the feathers around vents this time, so I'm hoping that's going to help fertility too. So Fluffy definitely loves this box. That jumping in place and flapping her wings is her marking her territory for all the other female birds in here. She's saying, my nest. It's mine. You can't have it. She and Sprite are an established pair, and I actually saw them making moves toward breeding as much as 2 or 3 days ago. So Fluffy's one that does not waste time. She's actually working with a lovebird box that I bought by accident because they're the same size from, if you look at the front end of them, as a parakeet box, but it's actually about 2 or 3 inches longer and the hole is bigger, but Fluffy does not care. She loves her box. So I'm not in the least bit worried about these two. I'm laying money Fluffy's the first one to lay an egg. Then we have Lilith and Razzle down here, also a bonded pair, although these two have never produced so much as an egg, let alone a baby. But it's interesting, I put them together last May, briefly, maybe 4 or 5 days, with a nest box. And they established themselves as a pair, and they've never, and then I had to break it up. So they've never even laid an egg, but they are a pair, a bonded pair. You put them out in the big flight, and they're never apart. So I'm confident we'll get eggs out of these two pretty quick, too. Same thing with Jester and Sky over here. They're going along quite nicely. These two, this is Rainbow, whose mate Aqua died about a month and a half ago. So she's being introduced to a new male. This is Beryl. Let's see. Rainbow weighs 90 grams. Beryl weighs 50 grams. But the reason I'm matching them up is because Rainbow has the same kind of feather as a regular parakeet, whereas Beryl, look at him. He has magnificent feathering. So I'm hoping to get his feather on a big-bodied bird. Also, I'm hoping to get, she's a yellow face. I don't know if he's split to blue or not. We'll find out once they start having babies. But if he is split to blue, I would love to see a double factor spangle, because these are both single factor spangles. I would love to see a double factor spangle with a yellow face. It would be very cool. She is in the box. This is going to be a pair that the first egg won't be fertile, because she is in the box. She climbs in there and sits in there for extended periods. But I haven't seen a lot of loving going on here. She'll spend more time close to him. They have conversations, but I haven't seen a lot of preening or, bonding behavior. So she's going to end up, she's an experienced breeder. He's not. She's going to end up laying 1 or 2 eggs that are infertile before they get around to mating. But it is what it is. See, they're discussing this. He says, yes, I see. That's our nest box. He sits closer to her now. They used to sit at opposite ends of the cage. And when she's in the nest box, he sits right outside of it and discusses things with her. But they haven't moved to the preening point yet. So these two up here are also kind of taking their time. But I do see them making moves. You see how she put her head down and flutters her wings like that? That means I'm ready to breed. And he's pays a lot of attention to her. So we'll see. I haven't seen them actually breeding, but some pairs you never do see them breeding. Some breed inside of the nest box, and some breed when I'm not around. So I don't know. We'll see. But they seem to be getting along just fine, and she likes the nest box. She actually kind of ignored the nest box for a while, but she was surrounded on this side by Marine and Liney and a couple of others that were getting medication and still had no nest box. and the jealousy and angst was obvious. And on this side over here was the same thing with Random and Rocky. Where is he? There he is, eating lettuce. They didn't have a nest box at first, and Random was going crazy trying to get out of the cage to get to Gidget's nest box. So Gidget was playing coy with the nest box, but I could see the instant I put the nest box on the 2 cages on either side of her, she instantly said, okay, now I can lay claim to this nest box. So she was afraid she was going to start a war before, and now she's settling in. These two, this is little Vision. I had her in here once last spring, again, just before the heat wave, with Blue that time. She's afraid of me, so when I'm in here, she doesn't do anything. She just sits on the perch and remains still. But you can see by the way Buster is sitting next to her, and he's warbling and chatting and talking to her, and his feathers are kind of fluffed up. He is saying, this is my girl, this is my girl. And she's pretending like, and she's happy to have him there. She's not biting him and trying to send him away, but she's kind of frozen because she knows I'm watching. But I can tell by how close they're standing, the way he's bobbing and warbling at her. Oh, did you see him just trying to step on her? That means, come on, baby, let's do it. That's the first move. That's first base right there. Step on her wing or her tail. So romantic. So I can tell these two are doing great, even though I never see anything when I'm in the breeding shed, because Vision sits still and waits for me to leave. These two, I was a little worried because Rocky had dropped a whole bunch of weight. But I gave him a few days of antibiotics, and then I just gave him, some electrolyte solution and lots of yummy food to eat, and he is bulking up fast. So I'm no longer worried. Random is finally happy to have her box. She was like in here with all these other females that had boxes, and she didn't have one. So she has one now. And just a little while ago, Coco flew out of the cage when I was cleaning the cage and had the door open. Came over here and landed on the top of the cage, and Random almost killed her through the wires of the cage. She started flying around in there and screeching and howling, and Coco was like, ah, and ran away. So clearly she has decided that's her box, Territorial. And then the other couple here is good old Coco and Porky. And they are getting well established. Coco dives into her box whenever she thinks I'm coming after her. But they're a well-established couple. They've laid eggs before, but never had any hatching success. So one of the things I'm looking for is there's a little bit of pine shavings in each of these. I just cleaned out that cage. And I'm looking for the females to start throwing the pine shavings out. And I see, you see those pine shavings along the edge of the paper towel there? Miss Marine here, with her Limey, is staking her claim on that nest box, cleaning it out. It's mine. These two, I don't see any pine shavings yet. There are a couple down here with Lilith and Razzle. You see them over there? Not a lot, but some. I just cleaned out these 3 cages. Does she have some over here? Nope, not yet. So some birds are starting to throw that out. You can tell that's when they're starting to get serious, is when they start cleaning out the nest box. So it all looks good. They're coming along. Everybody's fattened up nicely. They've got all kinds of treats and yummies, which they always have when they're breeding. And I've got my fingers crossed we're going to have good fertility this time. Okay, that's it.